There was a time not too long ago, right here on the internet, where men were giving great advice on men improving their looks, their skin, and their overall sex appeal. And there's been a lot of looks maxing advice that has been given over the past years. And recently, things have taken a bit of a turn when it comes to this type of advice, and not for the better. What I see now happening more than ever is men are getting way too girly with this type of advice, and they're doing crazy things like getting on video cams with other women and then slowly revealing a mask off of their face and waving their hair, and showing their quote unquote looks or beauty, whatever they want to call it.
You're actually pretty. Oh my god, you're so attractive.
Once you start doing stuff like that, you're getting away from like your manly core.
Damn, you are so handsome.
Yo, you majestic! You're so majestic!
There are going to be a couple of bad things that are going to happen if you go this deep into it, and we're going to cover those in this video so you don't fall way deep into the looks maxing trap, where you still increase your looks and your style and your fashion, your sex appeal. You still do those things, but you do it in a healthy way, in a way that aligns with your masculine presence and your masculine self. And you're not going down in a rabbit hole where you're trying to reveal your face to random strangers online for validation, right? So in this video, I'm going to cover the couple bad things that can happen if you go way too deep down into this looks maxing role, and then a couple things that you can do to make sure you're not going deep down and staying true to yourself and not losing yourself in this. So number one rabbit hole issue that you can have when you're going deep down into this looks maxing is you're going to start to lose your actual self and your true self that makes you who you are. So what do I mean by that? So basically, we're all born with a certain amount of looks, a certain height, and a certain skin, and basically a certain way we look. And while there are improvements we can do to ourselves, what happens is when you go so deep down in the rabbit hole, like for example, you're tweaking your eyebrows all over, or you are getting you're analyzing every inch of your face and trying to get a near perfect skin or near perfect face blemishes. What happens is, even if you achieve that, once you get a little bit older, or once you go through a stressful time or illness and you lose some of that, your confidence is going to be tied to that. So what happens is when a lot of men go way too deep into looks maxing, they tie all of their confidence to how they look and only how they look. And they're just a one-trick pony, right? So they'll either tie all their confidence to their hair, or to, like, for example, how their skin's looking, or to their height. But when it comes to things other than that, they won't have everything to show for it because they were just a one-trick pony. So you never want to just be a one-trick pony and just have one good side of you to offer. You want to have layers to yourself. And while you can improve, how your face looks, how your beard and grooming is, your fashion is, things like that, and you should work on that, but never get too deep where you're like analyzing every single cell and square feet area of your body, because once you do that, you're going to be only tied to that type of stuff. And if you lose any of that minuscule stuff that you're tying your self-worth to, all your confidence is gone.
Yeah, I have a hard time looking at my own face. Like, my nose is crooked. I've got a big nose, you guys know that. My face is like lopsided.
The second downside that happens to you when you go too deep into looks maxing is you start to become more girly than you were before, right? So when you are like analyzing every single part of your body and everything like that, that's something that girls do. So they go get manicure, pedicure, get their hair done. They go and shopping for clothes. They go and get surgeries, Botox and lifts and things like that. And that's what the stuff they do, because they tie most of their energy and self-confidence to how sexy they're looking. But for us men, while it is good to look handsome, and I have other videos on this channel that teach men how to be handsome and look good, it gets to a point, if you pass that and you still keep going deeper, you're going to start to get girly. You're going to go have like 20 creams in your closet and Go and consume foods that you weren't consuming before. You're going to have like just a girly vibe, and you're not going to have time to focus on things like martial arts and running and training and business and things like that that are going to increase your life even better, right? You're just going to be worried about how are my pants fitting right and are they ironed the right way every single time to show off my physique, and is my hair looking good, and do I have like zero bald spots on my head or zero recession of hair? If I don't, oh man, I better go watch some more videos. That's what happens when you get too deep into this stuff. You start to become more of a girl than an actual man. And the third thing is that men have to realize that one day we are all going to get older. We're all going to age, develop wrinkles, sagging skin, and get slower. But the point is not to always look like we're in our 20s and try to get our previous self back. The point is to age gracefully and be the best looking in our own age group. So if you're 45, the point is not to compete with your 25-year-old self. The point is to be the top 45-year-old that's out there in public, right? Because as we get older, the competition is actually going to start thinning. There's going to be less people that are taking care of their bodies, their selves, and they're going to let themselves go. And for us, we have to always stay leveled, headed, and always look for ways to improve ourselves. So as you go on your looks journey, on your beard grooming journey, on your fashion journey, on looking the best version of yourself, remember that aging is a natural process. Well, we can all look good for our age, and we can all be in a top 5 or top 10 percentile for our age bracket. And being confident in that and being happy in that is the key to not overdoing your looks maxing journey and not going down the deep rabbit hole. This is the balance key. Just be the best in your age group and always strive to be better.